Anyway, good morning, and we're sorry that Billy couldn't be with us today, but we're certainly glad that you could join us for the kickoff of the 2014 CVS Caremark Charity Classic, taking place June 22nd through the 24th at Rhode Island Country Club. And by the way, we always think about this day, the kickoff of the Charity Classic is the kickoff to summer, and with the weather we've had this year, so anyway, it's certainly exciting to be hosting this great event for the 16th consecutive year, and I think it's especially fitting that here we are at Special Olympics Rhode Island, one of our longtime charity partners, and I think this building is just a great example of the impact that the Charity Classic has had on our community. If you go back a few years, I think it was the 2010 tournament, our supporters and the Monday night gala guests generously pledged tens of thousands of dollars to the Special Olympics Capital Campaign in support of this new headquarters and the very training center that we're in today. So I think here, as everyone knows here, Dennis and the Special Olympics team, they're really doing some terrific work for athletes of all ability, and I'd like to thank them for hosting us today and along with their continued support of the Charity Classic. So Dennis, thank you. Now, as we have talked about for many years, giving back to the communities, supporting our nonprofit partners, it's really the heart of the Charity Classic. That's the reason why we do everything that we do, along with our supplier partners, golf professionals, and the fact that this all comes together in June each year. We're proud that this tournament has driven more than $17 million to local nonprofits that are helping children and families all across southern New England. And last year alone, I remember that December date with Brad and Billy, we donated $1.3 million in vital funding to our area nonprofits. So just let me take a minute and thank those 20-plus working charity partners, many of whom are here in the room today. You and the nearly 1,000 volunteers that you provide each year are truly the backbone of the tournament, and simply put, we could not host a successful tournament without you. And let's give all our charity partners a big round of applause. Now, we also couldn't put on a successful tournament without the support of our sponsors. And our presenting sponsors, Pepsi and Osteo Biflex, they deserve special recognition for their steadfast commitment and support of the tournament and its charitable mission. In addition to their support, the contributions of dozens of other supplier partners are critical in making the Charity Classic the great community event that it's become. And we're grateful to all of our supplier partners for their generosity, commitment, and support. And I know, some of them are here in the room today. Please give them a round of applause as well. Now, as everyone here knows, the picturesque backdrop of the tournament, it's second to none. And we're certainly grateful to Rich Powers and all the folks at Rhode Island Country Club. They've been with us from the start. And special thanks to their continued dedication in making the setting for the Charity Classic spectacular for not just our fans, but our players as well. And then, of course, the tournament would not be possible without the leadership of our co-hosts, Brad Faxon and Billy Andrade. I think as everyone here in the room knows, they continue to be passionate, tireless advocates of the Charity Classic and the impact that it makes all across southern New England. And again, none of this would be possible without their efforts. So, Brad, special thanks to you. And, Billy can hear me somewhere right now. Thanks to Billy as well. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, every year, we're always looking to bring some new elements to the tournament. This year's no different. I will say it gets a little harder, after 15 years, but we think of ourselves at CVS Caremark as a pharmacy innovation company and a leader in healthcare. And this year we're going to be introducing a series of health and wellness activities at the tournament, including something that we're calling the Path to Better Health. It's a walking path that includes health and wellness stations all around the course. And we're going to be partnering with some area experts to host interactive and educational stations along that walking path. And You'll see things like skin screenings, simple exercises and stretching exercises, to nutritional advice. And fans can participate in these fun and educational activities as they follow the pros around the golf course. And in addition, the first 1,000 attendees to check in at the Health and Wellness Station on Monday and Tuesday of the tournament, they'll receive a free pedometer to track their steps while they're following the pros. And fans who take the most steps daily can enter to win some special prize during the tournament. And I think it's a great way to talk about actually how much exercise one can get simply walking the golf course. We're also proud to announce that this year the CVS Caremark Charity Classic will be tobacco-free. In addition, as part of our commitment to help people live tobacco-free lives, fans will be able to actually stop at the Minute Clinic tent and learn more about smoking cessation programs that are available to them. So before I turn it over to Brad to share details on another incredible field, world-class field that he and Billy have once again assembled, we actually have a friend of the Charity Classic who couldn't be with us here today, but wanted to join in to say hello to everyone. Okay, and I see her up there. Good morning, Lexi.
Good morning.
Okay. And she's on the screen.
She doesn't look as tall right there. How are you, Lexi?
I played with her last year, Brad. Trust me. Okay, she's tall. Yeah. Okay. But Lexi, welcome to the kickoff of this year's CVS Caremark Charity Classic. We're glad that you can join us, and but we're even more excited that you're going to be joining us again in June. And on behalf of all of your friends here, first of all, let me congratulate you on a significant win that you had a few weeks ago. Lexi actually won the Kraft Nabisco Championship, which is the LPGA's actually first major of the year. So congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Larry. Good morning, everybody. I'm just super excited to be able to join you this morning and just say how happy and honored I am to be playing again in the CVS Caremark Charity Classic. And thank you, Billy and Brad, and everybody at CVS for inviting me back. It's a huge honor.
Well, Lexi, we're thrilled that you're going to be joining us. You'll be a terrific addition to a very impressive roster, and I think this is the third time you'll be playing in the Charity Classic. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. It's one of my favorite events on the schedule of my year, and this tournament does such great things for the local charities, and I'm glad to be coming back and doing my part and hopefully making it another successful year for those local charities.
Lexi, I'm going to go off script here. I think everybody knows that the Nabisco is one of the biggest tournaments on the LPGA Tour, and tradition is they dive in the pond, right? So if you win the CVS Charity Classic this year, you're diving in Narragansett Bay, with or without your partner, right? One of the new things that we've done at the tournament, Lexi, I don't know if you remember, but every player represents a certain charity on the 17th hole. So there's a closest to the pin contest where $25,000 gets donated each day to that player's charity on both Monday and Tuesday. So do you know who you're going to play for this year, or who you'd like to play for this year?
It's such a tough choice. There's so many great charities that you can play for, but what are you playing for, the charity?
Well, I'm representing Meeting Street Center this year, which my wife is here and on the board of the school there, and Billy is representing Special Olympics, is where we are today. So you got 18 choices. You got to make one now, Lexi.
Putting me on the spot. Well, those are two great choices. I would be honored to be playing for any charity, of course, but I think what charity I'm going to play for is the Brain Injury Association of Rhode Island.
Well, if anybody watched her win, she was driving it past everybody, hitting all her wedges close. You see how those divots she was taking with those shots? Spin, and then
yeah, there's no grass left.
Oh, right. They were some big divots. And then she made every putt, of course. But you'll have a little bit of keen competition there from the field, Lexi.
Yeah, perfect.
And Lexi, as you can hear from the applause, you got a lot of fans here in the room, and I think that your team's got a great chance of winning an extra $25,000 with you on board. So Lexi, we know you have some other commitments this week, the LPGA event in Kingsmill and in Virginia. So we want to say again, thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at Rhode Island Country Club next month.
Of course. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Get a few more wins there, Lexi. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was cool. That was really, really fun. I don't know what I just did. But I always think the best part of the event is getting to announce the field. You know, Billy and I spend not just a few weeks trying to get the best field that we can, but we feel like we're doing this all year long. So let's get right to it. And one player that you've probably seen on the leaderboard every single week this year, it seems like, is Matt Kuchar. Whether he's winning a tournament like he did at Harbortown, the RBC Heritage, he holed a bunker shot on the last hole. He shot 64. He's been in the last group a number of times this year, but you can see yourself, he's won 7 times. He's third in the FedEx. He won the FedEx, I think 2 years ago. He's been on the Ryder Cup, and he's coming back for the 4th time. You may know he won this tournament 2 years ago with Zach Johnson, and one of the great stories we're going to have this year, I don't even think Larry knows this, but Matt's dad is going to caddy for him, Peter, and Zach Johnson, when he found that out, invited his dad, and Zach is going to caddy. Zach's dad's going to come and caddy for him. We may be leaking a potential pairing here, but they're back. Well, they won 2 years ago, okay? So I'm not supposed to tell you they're playing together, but you can figure that out. All right, we'll leave Matt and go to Zach. Zach, I had lunch with Zach last week. I was down at the Players' Championship, and he came right up to me and told me how excited is he about playing, and immediately started talking about his charity that he has out in Cedar Rapids, where he's from, and how important this is to him, and how he knows, you know, what it's done, what we do here in Rhode Island. But he's ranked 13th in the world, 4th time here, and he'll be representing American Red Cross. And I'll tell you what, we try and find the best golfers in the world, but we can't find a better person in the world than Zach Johnson. So we'll look forward to having him back. And of course, if we're going to have the 2012 champions, we're going to have the 2013 champions, Steve Stricker and Bo Van Pelt. And they shot 25 under par. And if you're not a golfer, you go, oh, who cares? If you are a golfer, you go, there's only 36 holes. So that means they only didn't birdie 11 of them, if my math is good. But these two guys slaughtered everybody. I don't think anybody can shoot that low again. Stricker is a bit of an enigma now, because at 44 years old, he's starting to take more time off, but he's won 11 tournaments. He seems to be in contention every year for the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup. Everybody's amazed by how good he chips and putts. When you get older, you're supposed to do that worse, but he does it better. He'll be representing the Arthritis Foundation, and I kind of said Zach's one of the nicest guys. This guy probably is the nicest guy on the tour, Steve Stricker. And Bo Van Pelt, I was on the range last week watching Bo Van Pelt hit balls, and you know, everybody talks about how good players are these days. This guy is hitting the ball so far and so straight. He hasn't played as well this year as he did last year, but he'll be back again to defend. He's representing Rhode Island Family Shelter. And one of the things you'll notice about how the athletes in our sport have changed, and Footjoy told me this, listen to this stat. In the last 10 years, this average shoe size has gone from 9 to 11 and a half on the PGA Tour. How about that? So, you know, you used to be kind of like Gary Player, Lee Trevino, Tom Kite. Now the guys look, they're monsters. Not that he's a monster, but he's a good guy. Bo Van Pelt. So, you know, we've mixed this up. We have a combination of PGA Tour players, LPGA Tour players, and Champions Tour players. But probably, I hate to say, it's one of my favorite players in the whole field is this year's Solheim Cup captain, Hall of Famer Juli Inkster, who's back here again. She's, I think, was one of the first women to play here. She's played in 7 straight tournaments, you know, World Golf Hall of Fame. You know, the Solheim Cup is the women's equivalent to the Ryder Cup. Look at that, 30 LPGA Tour victories, 7 majors, and she's playing on behalf of Serve Rhode Island. So it'd be great to have her back again and again. Juli Inkster. And I can't tell you who her partner is because we don't do that here. But one of the favorites on the PGA Tour, this guy, by actually not talking to anybody, has become more popular because he doesn't talk, but he Dufners. He's a a guy named Jason Dufner. He's won 3 times. He won the PGA Championship last year. It's great to have the major champions here. And I don't know if you watched him. He didn't just hit fairways. He hit sprinkler heads. He hit it so straight. He was hitting it down there every time. This is his first time here. And, you know, if you wanted to rank the most popular American golfers, you know, you always take Tiger and Phil or Phil or Tiger. I think Jason Dufner's in the top 5. You'd put Bubba Watson in there for sure, Ricky Fowler. And Dufner is become kind of this cult following of young people, old people that all want to be like him. But it's great to have Jason Dufner here for the first time, and he's going to represent the boys and girls clubs. And then, you know, how could we do this tournament without our host, you know, who helps run this event for us? Peter Jacobson, 16 times. He's a stud guy. He's won 7 times, twice on the Champions Tour. He's going to represent March of Dimes. He works for NBC Sports. He plays in a band. He does absolutely everything behind the scenes. He helps to run this event. He's done it for 16 years, and nobody's more likable, more popular than Peter Jacobson. So it's great to have him back here as well. And I think when anybody says the name Peter Jacobson, everybody smiles, everybody without exception. So we continue to have some of the best players in the field, and as time goes on, we're going to announce more players that we have. We have a few that we're kind of hoping to get, and then if I can keep my mouth shut, we'll tell you more pairings too. We also have added a few things to the field, and again, we're going to do something that was very popular last year, but Puma and Kimberly Clark helped to support something we called the All Kids Can 3-hole challenge. So what we have is 5 foursomes of kids that all represent or are from the charities here. So they're going to play 16, 17, and 18 on the tournament course before we go out to play. It was extremely popular last year. The kids get very nervous. It was fun to watch. A lot of the pros watched. And these kids play the last 3 holes, you know, with the stands up and people around. And that'll be held on Monday of the tournament. So the 5 foursomes, like I said, and they represent our charity partners. And I don't think we could do something that's cool to watch that at the Masters this year. I don't know how many of you watched drive, chip, and putt, but we're trying to do something very similar. And we can say, we did it first, they're copying us. So I think about 4 years ago was the Pepsi Max Shootout. The Pepsi Max Shootout helps us make the sponsors and the amateurs that play on Sunday, give them some extra incentive. And we have 2 waves of the Pro-Am. We have a morning and an afternoon. So we got the idea that wouldn't it be great if the winners of the Pro-Am, instead of giving them just clubs or just balls or a shirt, let them play Monday. So these players, when they win the Pro-Am, get to come out and play in our field. So they're teeing it up with us on Monday in the morning with the crowds, getting announced on the first tee. And we've had some of these amateurs, Larry, the comments that they give us. It's the most nervous I've ever been. It's the best day of my life, you know, with their wife and children right there. You know, it is really something that's been popular that we absolutely look forward to, and we'll continue doing that. And, you know, some of the teams dress the same. You know, it's crazy how well this has worked, the Pepsi Max Shootout. So we'll continue to do that. And again, we talked about how we're going to have every player represent one of these charities for $25,000 for the closest to the pin. But also new this year is our Tickets for Charity program. So with a click of a button here, you can donate $5 for every good any-day ticket purchase on CVSCharityClassic.com directly to the charity of your choice among the tournament's working charities. So here's how it works. Log on to CVSCharityClassic.com and click the tickets icon. Select your favorite charity from the list of working charities and complete the purchasing process. You can even add an additional personal donation to help these worthy nonprofits. So it's just another way that we feel like everybody that comes out there feels like this tournament is their own in a way because of it's our state. All the volunteers that come, like we said, Larry said, 1,000 volunteers to make this thing run. Our charity partners will be out across the community helping to sell the tickets and raise additional funding for their organizations. And, you know, when you think about the math, 16 years, $17 million plus to different charities in 3 days. You know, our state needs this, the charities need it, and when we compare this to, I keep saying this every year, when we compare it to the other tournaments that we have, we're killing them. I mean, for this little state, we've got a big company, but we've got some great people that help to raise the money, and I think everybody in this room should be proud for what this tournament does for so many people across the entire state. So on behalf of Billy and myself, you know, I got to stop because I get a lot of comments. I did some work on TV the last few weeks for the Golf Channel. A lot of people have been nice enough or mean enough to comment about my clothing or my hair. I can see why now when I see Billy's hair. I'm going to have to say something to him later on. But Larry, thank you. Thank you, everybody at CVS, for, you know, your commitment to this. It's unbelievably impressive. We couldn't do it without you. I don't think we could do it without the state, without Rhode Island Country Club, but your passion, your vision to keep this going on is really what's driving this. And the focus on charity is what we want to continue to improve and enhance as we go on in years. So I'm honored to be part of this. I know Billy is as well. We're fortunate, we're lucky to have this great state to have been born here. But I know you guys know the dates, June 22nd, 23rd, 24th, Rhode Island Country Club. We look forward to another great event. 16 years, it's just pinch yourself stuff. So thank you very much.
So Faith says I'm supposed to come up and thank all of you for coming out this morning. And as Brad just said, we'll look forward to seeing you on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th at Rhode Island Country Club. Thank you.